the story. So for everybody's benefit, we ended last session with me kind of hand waving that you guys made it to Salt Lake.
Yeah.
This is gonna back things up a couple of days and actually get the party back together before you go to Salt Lake, because I decided that Clem just randomly wandering around looking for you guys didn't seem like a good approach to life.
Yeah, with Clem's skills, that would have just been a hot mess. Let's be honest.
So we're going to pick up where we left off with Frank, Ali, and Bartholomew have made their way onto a new Denver Pacific train. Wait, what?
You're always like white chip to whoever can summarize what happened.
Oh, yeah. White trip to whoever can give us the details of what happened last week.
Well, last time, Clem had touched a dude and died. And so...
Let that be a lesson.
Don't
touch dudes.
So we used sticks to roll him into his grave, and we did a ceremony for him.
It was very touching.
And then
with no touching.
Yeah, very touching with no touching. And then we decided that whatever was killing people couldn't take over the rest of the Weird West, and so we went to the cave. My cousin Horace got tackled by a giant bug man, the one that he saw, and then we took it out, and then the newspaper lady was super excited, and then we left. And I believe she asked us about our friend, and we were like, well, I wouldn't say friends. And then we headed back, to go down the road towards Deseret. And then we had a vignette of Clem becoming a hollowed. So that was an interesting thing. Harrowed, whatever it was. And then when he woke up, he was... what was the name of the guy?
Oh, no, I got this one. Coot Jenkins.
Coot Jenkins kind of taught him what being a herald is. And then he's like, well... And this was 6 days later, as we roll on the dice. And then he's like, well, I'm going to go find my best friends in the whole world.
Surely you're not talking about us.
And that's where we left off.
All right. That sounds good. That sounds like an accurate summary. Clem has forced his way through the hunting grounds, and the rest of the party has found their way to a train promising to take them to Salt Lake City, the city o' gloom. Can the party make it there in one piece? How will Clem's friends accept his second chance at life? Find out now on ODND Presents A Fistful of Dice. So we'll start with Ellie, Frank, and Bartholomew.
Okay.
You were rescued by a Denver Pacific train. This one only has a couple of cars on it. It's, the engine, the coal car, and a passenger train, or a passenger car. The passenger car has you three, and a tall, very slender, dark-skinned, you think woman, But she's dressed in men's clothing, a long brown duster, jeans, shirt, cowboy hat. Other than her, the only other two people on the train are a very short man who you've never actually heard speak. He's like 5'1", great white bushy beard. Think Santa, only very short and very round.
Can I think about Hot Fuzz?
Great big bushy beard.
Yes, yes. That line comes up more often than I care to admit. He's got a great bushy beard. Okay. So that's the fireman, and then the engineer is a man by the name of Jeb. Jeb is very definitely a northerner. He's very large, very burly. The kind of guy who probably worked in the fields a lot and then got on the trains. Think John Henry kind of guy.
Okay.
So, kind of sparse. As the train's rolling down the tracks for a little bit, though, there's a sudden, probably about 3:00 in the morning on the second day that you're traveling, all of a sudden the brakes come on and you hear this squeak as the train is trying to come to a halt all of a sudden without warning.
Oh no, not again.
I grab my bag of like stuff and like clutch it to my chest.
The other passenger does not seem at all worked up. They're just sitting there reading their book. The fireman...
I turned to horse like, you got your gun, right?
The fireman comes walking through, grumbling, pulls out a cigar, puts it into his mouth, lights it, grabs a shotgun from underneath one of the benches and walks outside. And Jeb comes in and says, "It's okay, folks. It's okay. Just a little problem with the tracks. Nothing to get to."
Are we getting robbed again? Because this would be the second time on this trip, and I don't have the patience for it today.
You can't even.
I can't even.
No, I don't think we're getting robbed. And about that time, you hear blam, 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 blam. And some screaming and some cursing. And Jeb kind of says, "Well, I think LB has it under control."
I look at you guys like, should we go check this out? Because I need to get to Deseret. I don't want to have to deal with any more Mothmen.
Frank snaps her rifle closed.
So I'm still like clutching my bag to my chest, right? And I just like kind of like I'm holding it with one arm and like kind of rummaging in it. I pull out a bottle, like, no, that's not it. Just rummage. And I thought I'd pull out my pistol.
There you go. Is it a pistol or a Derringer?
It's a Colt.
Oh, good.
I'm the one with the Derringer.
Oh, of course you are.
Tucked in my boot.
There's a snake in
Got
my
a
boot.
cute little pocket.
All right, guys.
Sealed carry.
We've been down this road, literally. So
I mean, this is the same road technically as the last.
that's what I'm saying. So
It's
excuse
a
me,
real
sir, and I walk past Jeb.
Okay.
We all push past Jeb.
Oh, the three, like, I just picture
Amigos?
the look on your guys' face, like, God Damn it, not again.
Yeah, and and Horace is obviously with us too.
Yeah.
And he became a man in that fight in the cave.
Did he?
He was shooting like a motherfucker.
He still seems a little...
He was shooting almost as good as Clem.
Weird.
I do have something special for you, Clem. So don't feel left out.
Oh yeah, no, I'm thoroughly enjoying this as is.
So you three come out the train, and there are it appears that the train is in fairly good repair. If you look off to your left, or going up the track, there is a wagon across the rails. The fireman, who you now know to be named LB, is hunched down behind a rock as four women clad in black with a distinctive Kansas accent are
What is that?
bartering.
Can we hear what the accent is?
Oh, I do not want to offend the people in Kansas or Missouri.
This is Deadlands, Kansas, though.
Yeah, Deadlands.
It could
yeah.
be French, all we know.
Yeah.
French-Mexican.
Yeah.
It's your world. Paint it for us.
Anyway, continue.
All right, Sugar, you just go ahead and give us the payroll, and you can go. And LB is kind of squints and.
So I walk next to where LB's crashed down,
Mhm.
and I motion to the others to kind
You
of
walk?
get cover.
You just walk over?
Yeah.
Okay.
I said, "Excuse me, ladies,
Oh no.
beautiful ladies, nice ladies. We need to get to our destination, and we've already had to fight half a dozen bug people wearing people suits, and we just need to get rolling. So if you don't mind just taking your wagon off the train, I think we'd all appreciate it, right, guys? We'd all appreciate that.
I would.
Bronk, horse,
I believe women should support other women.
including stealing people's payroll.
We all have to make a living.
The leader kind of looks at you guys and then looks at LB, and LB just kind of shrugs, and the woman kind of shrugs, and she looks back to Bartholomew and says, "Are you working with Smith and Robard?"
Yes.
Ma'am, I'm just trying to work my way to Deseret.
Smith and Wesson?
You do know you're on a Denver Pacific line, don't you?
All I care is whether or not this line goes to Deseret.
Does it? I'm worried now. Are we on the wrong train? It would not surprise me with the month we are having.
I tried to tell me, I'm like, are we heading anywhere towards Deseret?
We need Nick Frost.
He says, I suppose.
He just kind of grunts and points, and finally just kind of stands up and looks at the woman and pulls his cigar out and is like, "I told you witches, get your ass out of here." And he sticks his cigar back in and shoots over the top of one of their heads.
Okay, that might be a little bit. That's a little excessive.
It's no worse than what we've done.
And one of the,
Definitely not better than what Clem has done.
well, the witches, not wanting to necessarily stick around for a fight with the squatty Irishman, turn heel and start to back away. Their ambush clearly foiled. They're not gonna go up against 4 of you.
Technically 5.
Well, yeah, technically 5.
Well,
And
Of course.
but one turns over her shoulder and shoots, and it hits the boiler tank of the
Oh.
engine.
Uh-oh.
Ugh,
So
that could have gone better. Did it explode?
Does their
Nope.
carriage have horses?
nope.
Well, how is their carriage moving?
It's not.
3 of the ladies.
Are they
Well,
pulling it?
So they did have horses, but they hid the horses in the tree line, and then they got on the horses and they rode away.
And,
they
they
left.
left the cart where it is.
Yeah.
Well, then I go
So-
examine the cart.
Free cart! Dibs.
That's
I call dibs.
We don't have a horse to pull it.
We have a Horus.
We'll put it on the train! Somehow.
The boiler? Is that the problem?
It's a wagon
I don't know how
or
trains
a
work.
carriage. What
Well,
kind of cart is it?
We haven't really established anything. I'm walking over to it now to find out.
Yeah, I'm going with him. I'm like, dude, this was sweet.
It's like for I forget the is it one of those square wagons with big wheels, and
Oh, okay.
it's not like a Conestoga wagon or
And
anything
it's not
like
like a
that.
carriage.
No.
Is it like open top?
Yeah.
Is there anything in it?
Yeah, there's some
Garbage.
bushels of. Hold on, I will tell you what they're
Bushels of-
apples. There are 3 bushels of apples.
So I holler at everyone like, well, let's at least get this off the tracks, and then we can let the engineer figure out what we're doing with the train.
Alright.
I'll start pushing it
What
off
do-
the tracks.
So we're trying to push it off the tracks.
We need.
If there's at least 4 of us pushing it, do we really need rolling?
No, I'm not gonna make you guys roll it. I will.
What the fuck, dog?
I'll ask you guys to do a roll later, but that's okay. We don't-
So later we're gonna fuck. Oh, that really torqued my back.
Yeah.
Oh, ow.
Oh man. No.
I'm doing a search and roll for an ice pack.
Yes. Okay. So let's say it takes you. It's gonna take you 1d4 hours to get this done.
Wow.
Oh man, you guys
It's full of apples.
You guys are slow. It took you 2 hours to get the train moved, and
Oh wow.
LB and Jeb are back putting it all together, and the other passenger really hasn't moved much. They just don't seem to really care or be fazed by much of anything.
Is that Frank?
Most the woman question mark.
And when LB walks past them, they kind of look over at LB, and LB just grunts Black River and then walks away. So, I mean, you guys probably know that Black River is one of the competing lines in the rail wars.
Oh.
Is that what? So he thinks they were hired by those guys. Got it.
Yep. And Black River is known to be run by a woman, Mina. Can't remember her last name off the top of my head.
Malkovich.
Suvari.
But she has she is notorious for hiring all women in or all female enforcer squads. So
Well, that's just Xandris.
yeah. So
I turn to Horace. I'm like, we're becoming a minority in this country.
I will strangle you. With your
So
own
Let
penis.
him choke on his red pill.
Mina Devlin. There we go.
I was close.
So
All right, so we get the cart off the track.
yep,
That's
you get
where
the
I
cart
need to
off the track.
Turn in my
And
my
Jeb comes
resume.
through and he says, "Well, I got
Really?
good news and I got bad news."
Oh, you saying this train's stuck again?
No, well, no. No, yes. The good news is I've got enough water and steam to get us to Purdy. It's up the road a little bit, probably about another hour.
No, that's also one of my boons.
Yeah. So
Jesus
to
Sounds like my kind of town. Right,
Yeah.
Horace? I elbow him.
we can get you to Purdy. We're gonna end up having to stay there probably about 24 hours till somebody so I can wire in and have somebody come bring us out.
We're
a
already
fix.
like 3 days behind. What's another 24?
I mean, like, what even is schedules at this point?
Yeah, I mean, as long as we eventually one day end up in Deseret, I suppose.
Okay.
Can I grab a bushel of them apples though? I think maybe.
I think that's warranted.
Yes. So
I
you each
got a
have a
bushel.
bushel of apples.
I'm adding that to my inventory.
Oh my
Yeah, me
god.
too.
How big is a bushel?
They're probably like 30, 40 some apples.
Jesus.
Bushel of apples.
They're not Granny Smith, are they?
They're
Or Red Delicious. I hate both.
Crab. They're all crab. They're for livestock.
they're whatever apple you want.
Honeycrisp. That's
Okay.
a bargain, you guys.
Gold. I am now rich.
Right? Make me
So-
some cider.
Because LB and Jeb are the two best engineers you have ever met for this train.
They're the best engineers on this train.
Yeah.
Or this
They,
train line. So
They get the engine up and going. They limp into Purdy, and the train just kind of stops with a hiss,
And it's just like, I'm done.
and it's done.
I'm tired.
So,
Fuck off.
Jeb comes back through and says, "Now, there's a hotel in the center of town. They've got some good food and some drink there, and they got a doctor in there and such. Maybe you should wander around the town a bit. We're gonna be here a few hours, so
Lovely.
might as well make the most of it and enjoy the feather mattresses while you can."
Sleep in a bed that ain't moving unless I want it to.
we all stare at Allie.
What? I like the magic fingers.
I wink at Horace.
Jeb kind of stares at Allie a moment and then turns around and just walks back to the end.
Women nowadays.
So I get So are we taking the same train then? Is that what the deal is? So we can just leave like the majority of our luggage.
Yep.
Okay. I take
Yep.
my suit though,
I
just
take
in
my
case.
rifle.
I'm keeping my bag with me because it's got my cool shit in it.
I have to move all my dice because Dee Dee has decided to join us.
Hi, Deedles.
She's like, this is mine.
And with that, you guys go wandering into town. Now
Yeah.
we'll cut back over to Clem. Clem, you have had let's say
Harrowing.
experience.
Ah.
Experience. I was going to say an Obi-Wan or a Luke and Yoda moment.
Ooh.
Where
Did
with the prospector.
All right, so I like carried Coot Jenkins around in a backpack for a little miner's pack for a little bit and lifted some rocks. Just physically, not with the force or anything.
Something like that. No, the two of you are kind of. He's promised to escort you to help find your friends and get you to the nearest rail station. And he's been teaching you about life as a Harrowed and telling you a little bit of his story and learning your story, and eventually
one day Harrowed chip.
Would you say by the end of this experience we have also become friends?
You
Trying to
can
be
call him
friends.
an ally.
Okay.
He will
So-
call him
Are you
whatever he
asking Jeff or are
wants.
you asking Coot?
Well, that wasn't in a character voice. That was Jeff.
So, let's see. He guides you through the forest, down the mountain. Eventually, you come out on the edge of a town, and he looks over to you and he says, "Now, Clem, I've got a lot of resources in a lot of different places, and I understand that, well, you see, there's a problem down there in Purdy, and I want you to take a look into it for me. Seems that last night the whole town was awakened by a scream coming from that doctor's home down over there." And he points to this kind of very nice kind of plantation style home out on the edge of town. And he says, then he continues to say, "The sheriff and his 2 deputies went in and they never came back out. So what I want you to do for me, Clem, is go figure out what's going on in that house. You and I both know that things aren't always what they appear anymore."
Oh, well, Mr. Jenkins, I know we've been traveling a while, but you will have to excuse my ever-changing affectation. As it does change, as you can clearly see, we just traveled across this land, you and I learned many things from you, and I reckon with all these, with this gift you have given me, I suppose I could go investigate this. Yeah. Long story short, Mr. Jenkins, yes, I will. And
Thank
I
you.
start to mosey down towards the town.
I'm just picturing like thumbs in his belt
Thumbs in his
loop.
belt.
His legs are like
Out, like akimbo as he walks.
Part of this is because of rigor mortis still.
Potato, potato.
So you are going into town.
going to town.
Are
Wanna
you
get him a
going
hot
directly? Are you going to go directly to the doctor's house, or are you going to go down, have a drink first, and
Clem is a pretty direct person. He'd probably have just okay, so I'm just walking straight from wherever we were, not to the doctor's house, but just straight to the town, and will make my way to the doctor's house. So wherever I come in at, whatever opening I
Okay.
can find.
for sake of dramatic effect, you come in on the other side of town from the rail yards.
Okay.
Cut back to the other 3.
We're moseying.
Yeah, we're moseying. 3 of us, 4 of us, thumbs in our belt loops.
Especially
So-
Allie, it's very hard because she's got her bag in one hand.
Mm-hmm.
So
I want to go get a room.
the town folk
You want to do that
Are-
before the other people take our rooms, is
Yeah.
really what it is.
are
Bastards.
the town folk are not used to seeing very many outsiders, and the second they see you three and your rugged complexion, because
I grew up as a Southern dandy. I do not have. I have the opposite. Whatever the exact opposite of a rugged complexion is probably mine, which is still distinct. To be clear,
You're
both me and
heroic.
Horace.
your heroic aura.
I'll take that.
And the crowd starts to, a group of people start to congregate around you three, and
Have y'all heard of the Mothman?
no.
Well,
No,
we killed
but-
him.
You killed the Mothman?
Yep.
Well, how are you impressed if you have never heard of him?
I mean, she makes a fair point.
Well, but
Don't patronize him. He's got a big enough ego as it is.
did you kill a Mothman?
Now, if I did, I would not have to tell you in order to know I am cool.
But yeah, she killed the Mothman.
Oh, well, we have a little bit. We have a Mothman, maybe.
Is this one of those roadside attraction museums?
No,
Wow. those.
I'm not interested in your monkey mermaid.
I would love to see a monkey mermaid.
Actually, I have never heard of a monkey mermaid, and I'm 110% now invested in seeing a monkey mermaid.
Seriously, where is it?
The townsfolk are like, we don't have a monkey mermaid, we have a mothman.
I
well,
want to see a sea monkey.
we don't have any of those. We're kind of like in the middle of Wyoming, but well, you see, one of the shopkeepers comes out and he's kind of grumpy and he says, "You see, they're all chicken shits."
Ah,
Oh,
There was a
I glare
There was a
at
great ruckus
Bartholomew.
up at the old Doc Sawyer's place, and what they're trying to ask you is if you'd go see if the sheriff is all right.
well, can you guys like reserve rooms for us? Because that's kind of like I don't want to end up like looking at a dead doctor and then coming back and finding there's no room for us at the inn.
I mostly
Yes.
just want a bed.
We'll make sure that you have some rooms on hold.
Oh, c'est bon. Perhaps you can kill another Mothman.
I mean,
I mean, that is cooler than killing one.
I am both curious and have the law of the West on my side, so I have no choice but to investigate this whole disappearing sheriff situation.
All right, fine.
So the sheriff disappeared into the doctor's house?
We didn't hear all that stuff the other guy heard.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you could give us a bit more context, what exactly? Why were they going into the doctor's office? Why is it odd that you have not seen them? Has it been an hour or has it been a day? It would be helpful to have a bit of context so we know what we're walking into vis-a-vis a Mothman.
Did someone say hero of the day? No, well, that would have been pretty cool if they had said it. Hey, y'all, I'm back.
What the fuck?
How's
I
Horace taking it?
I like.
Frank points her gun.
Yeah, I left my gun.
I like.
I
Throw
hope
my
it's
bag
cool I
at
came
him.
in at that point, Jeff. I didn't know.
Satu Mothman! Or a mermaid monkey!
I I lift my gun. I pull my gun. I'm like, you are a zombie, sir, and I'm afraid we've already had to fight a bunch of those. We are not going to have to do this again.
Are you full of bugs?
Yeah, show me.
Good. Show me your inside.
Rip off your arm. Let's make sure there's no bug inside.
Well,
You smell bad.
it's good
but
to
you
see y'all
always
too. Damn it!
I walk up to him, and I smack him upside the head because the bugs didn't go into the head, so it would loll
right.
about. So I smack him upside the head.
Oh God! With your gun or just your hand?
Just open and slap.
Of course, you would slap someone. So,
Is that a form of greeting where you come from, Bartholomew? I barely felt that. And give him a slap upside the other side of his head.
I love you too, man.
Yeah,
Well, no, I go, you motherfucker, and I give him a big bear hug.
Aww.
It's definitely reciprocated.
Aw, you guys.
You're alive. How?
I rummage in my. Go over to where I threw my bag at him and dig through it and pull out a pad and paper and get ready to take notes.
You're it's like, you see, I gave him so much oil. I brought him back from the dead.
Then I step back and I'm rubbing the side of my face because it hurts.
Because Clem totally hit you 4 times harder than you.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, and also there's a thing about Harold where they don't really feel pain.
Oh God.
It wouldn't have mattered.
Okay.
I never told you all this. I thought it would have been kind of a cool party trick, and I don't mean dancing party. I mean we're a party of friends, you know. Thought it would have been kind of a cool trick to show y'all. I can I can see the way something died when I touch it once in a while, and turns out last thing I touched gave me a heart attack.
Oh.
And then I'm here.
But
I feel like that's a draw a circle, draw the rest of the owl type of analogy there.
one who skip off you.
Let's just say out in the woods I made a friend, and that friend said my life is going to be different from here on out.
Well, no
Because
shit.
you're a zombie?
Hey, look at this.
You want to
just pull
eat
off my
brains?
pinky. On the left hand.
I quickly obfuscate him from the rest of the crowd. I'm like, these are simple town folk. I would avoid doing such things. They are not as sophisticated as perhaps the rest of us may be.
That
certainly they do not
definitely
know
was in
you
front of a
as the rest of
lot
the
of people, wasn't it?
That was pretty much the entire town. So then I step back and I'm like, so we're on our way to investigate a doctor's house. I don't know if you wanted to join in or not.
Person.
You son of a bitch, I'm in.
Inspiration for Rick and Morty quoting.
So I guess we got a next person to help us investigate the house now. So we need another room reserved, I suppose.
The shopkeeper just kind of rolls his eyes and is like, okay, that's fine.
I know.
All right. So we start heading over to the doctor's house. Hi-ho, to the doctor's house we go.
So you died and you came back and you started living with a man.
So yeah, things changed.
Well,
Or maybe they stayed the same. We didn't know.
we didn't know your
proclivities. There it is.
It's a mighty fine word for someone who always has a problem with the English language.
Shut up. Do you know this word?
I'm starting to pick up that perhaps when you say that, you don't mean it the way you do.
No. What you want to say is stuff it.
Oh, stuff it.
Well, I did carry him in a pack for a bit on my back, and I lifted some rocks, and now I can do this. And he pulls his pinky up again.
Let's do
Is that the only thing you can do now? Okay. You still
I
have
mean,
your gun?
it goes the whole body, but it does take some time. This-
Allie and Frank look at each other and then keep walking.
How is Horace taking all this?
He's
Oh.
just kind of like, I don't know what's going on right now.
Poor Horace.
How old is he again?
So
16, 17?
15, 16, something like that is what we established.
Older than I thought.
it was such a great
He's
reunion,
32.
Clem. I was overcome with my excitement to see Bartholomew. Alice, Shamapel, I missed you too, and gives them like hugs as they're walking down the street. And then I also turned to Horace and I'm like, oh, Doris, you too. But Horace doesn't get a hug.
Horace doesn't get a hug. Horace is like, oh.
Well, you want to be a cowboy, and sometimes the undead is part of it.
I guess so. But I thought people stayed dead.
You also didn't think that people were full of bugs. We learned a lot of things on this trip.
C'est vrai.
Ray.
Who's Ray?
On the way to the doctor's house, I want to use, I guess, would it be just general cognition or searching? I just kind of want to get the vibe of the town.
Cognition.
Okay, let's see.
Not helping.
No, she doesn't like it.
Oh, delay of game. I'm looking for my D12 here. Sorry, there we go. 11.
Oh. It is a small town, pretty much a farming community. The railroad is probably the best thing to happen to it in a long time. You overhear some people talking about how, as you're walking, about how Dr. Sawyer is an elderly private gentleman who does seem to get a lot of deliveries on the railroad from either Hellstrom or Smith and Robards.
Well, this town looks like it's full of farmers. We can continue.
And we do.
Tonight's adventure is called House Call by Dave Bluer. It's a one sheet I got from the Pinnacle website. I chose this one because I needed some way to get the party back together after separating them. I think anybody who's ever been a DM knows that separating the party is a huge risk on the part of the party, but also very annoying for the person running the game, because you then have to have multiple little games. But I think this adventure did a good job bringing them back together. Common goal. Gave them a chance to RP a little bit around what happens when one of your friends dies and comes back from the dead. It was announced on Twitter and in Pinnacle's newsletter the week of the 8th that the Kickstarter for the new versions of Deadlands will start sometime in early March. So keep your eyes open for that. And definitely shoot us an email, send us a tweet, follow us on Facebook. Let us know what you're thinking might come out. I know there's already been some rumors about some retcons to the lore, and are you looking forward to it? Do you think it will be good and exciting to see some of these changes. You know, we're always willing to talk shop. We actually get pretty excited about talking shop. Okay, I get pretty excited about talking shop, but so does Dan. Shh, don't tell him. ODND Presents is a part of the Stolen Dress Podcast Network. Go to stolendress.com to check out more shows that include our main of Dice and Den's podcast, as well as Comedy on Vinyl, Dan and Jay's Comedy Hour, and What's New with You, Scooby-Doo, among many others. Check out ODND at our website, odndpodcast.com. While you're there, check out our merch shop or go to shop.odndpodcast.com. You can connect with us on Twitter at ODNDpod, Facebook at ODNDpodcast, or email us at odndpod@gmail.com. Theme music is All Good in the Wood by Audionautics and licensed under Creative Commons Distribution License. Deadlands The Weird West is a publication of Pinnacle Entertainment Group.
Alright, how far away is this house?
It's on the outskirts of town.
I'm also ready to try out my exciting new lockpicking skills.
Nice. Unfortunately, when you get to the house, you everybody roll a guts check.
That's
Ooh.
not common.
Okay. Good thing I just added guts.
I have plus. Okay, so
I've got nothing in guts.
I have +2 to guts for some reason.
So do I roll at that with disadvantage?
No.
Okay.
But I don't have any guts. So what do I roll?
Isn't there a base?
Guts doesn't have a parenthesis 1 next to it.
Because I have the edge brave, I have a +2 to guts, even though I have.
Guts is it's a combination of something.
Oh, okay. Well, then I never filled it out.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's.
I thought it was just a.
Wait, it's not the one under spirit?
Yeah, it's under
Yeah.
spirit.
Oh,
I got 2 6s.
I got an 8. Well, that was my highest.
I rolled 2d6. I got 2 6s.
Oh, nice. So don't you go up?
Yeah. You
I-
aced.
I rolled the d6s again, right?
You
Just
Yeah.
one.
One. Okay. Your favorite.
2.
What is guts? Because I don't have it filled out.
I add the 2 to the 6,
I know.
right? Question
Oh,
mark?
yes. Yep.
yes.
So I got an 8.
Oh, wait. Okay, so if we have the number, so I have 3 next to the guts, do we add it to each dice roll? What?
You
Sorry.
roll 3 of the dice type.
Yeah, she aced. That's what was going on there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I double ace, dude. I rolled 2
Oh,
6s.
okay. Nice.
Yes.
Well, that's awesome.
So, Dan Bartholomew, you will roll one of your. Yes, you would roll your guts at a -4. So your spirit
So-
dice at a -4.
Oh. So
I
that's,
aced it also and got a 17.
wow.
Wow, dude.
So if I still roll a 6, I can keep. I aced and I can keep rolling and then subtract 4 at the end.
Yep.
Okay,
cool.
good.
Oh, that's good.
That'll help.
So I got a 4.
I got an 8.
I got 8 too.
Technically, I got 8, and then I had to subtract 4.
You know.
Nice. All right. So you all.
Are amazing. Yes, I know.
Yes,
Yeah.
you all deal with that. Okay. So let me just send you the map.
Do we get some
here.
chills or anything? Or any indicator? of what-
Well, yeah. So the house is dark and gray marble, and I just sent you the map there. So you're coming up the main steps there, It's dark. The door is unlocked and slightly ajar.
I pull out, I walk up to the door with my lock picking stuff, and I get ready to do it, and it opens, and I'm like, yep, that was easy.
They're
That's
good.
That's really good, Alex.
Alice, that
When did
Well done.
when did you learn to do that?
On the train.
So
it's not a.
She practiced on Bartholomew's stuff.
I pull out my Colt and I point at it, looking at Horace to get him to pull his gun out too. Perhaps we should be quiet because someone went in never came out. Might be some danger in there, like a dozen Mothman babies or something. All right, the house is dark. The door is open.
Yep.
We pulled out our guns.
Yeah, I pull out my gun.
I pull out my gun then too.
My gun is always out.
You have a rifle, right?
Yeah. That's how
So-
I say we. In American. Yeah.
Look at me, I'm American. Yo.
I'm American. I have a gun.
All right. I get.
Yes,
our marching
Shambapel,
order on
that
this?
that is what Americans do. Here, look, I got two.
Put your penis away.
Clem puts his. I was gonna have my pistol because it was close quarters, but now I'm holstering my pistol and pulling out my Winchester.
I thought he was going to say pulling out my wiener.
Yeah. Well, you could. You could just hurl it at someone. It's detachable now.
I look at Frank and I'm like,
Starfish?
you're a tracker type of
We.
lady. Perhaps you might be a bit more inclined to be able to see what is happening. So perhaps you should take the lead.
I don't have scrutinize, but I can do tracking.
I'm just saying you should be in front for
Oh.
that reason.
Okay.
In the war, we did have to have close attention to detail. I am pretty good at searching around, just so you know. There, Bartholomew.
Well, why don't you go ahead and
Yeah,
take
dude.
lead as well? We could go in pairs with Horace
All right,
hanging up
Frank.
the rear.
Let's you and me search the shit out of this house. I'm gonna do some searching just here in the main foyer, whatever.
It's
Clem
your
can't
affectation,
say
foyer.
that. Foyer.
I'm going to this
Well-
Foyer.
Well, the map calls it the
I want to have a
entrance hall.
foyer.
Okay, the entrance hall then.
He was trying to be educated.
You think that's bad? Sometimes there's shit on the outside of the toilet.
And I
do
got
not
10.
have, like,
Oh
a
wait,
lamp
no,
or
I get
anything.
one more roll. Sorry. For that searching 10.
Okay.
Mwah.
So
Are you gonna
you
search?
notice that
Oh,
the
I'll search.
entrance
Oh,
hall is
yeah.
splashed with blood.
Ew. I can see that without rolling.
Hey y'all, they were not just trying to put a new paint job on. That is blood.
I got an 8 desertion.
Holy cow. Okay, there we go.
Maybe somebody should try to.
17.
Dang.
Yes.
Try to what?
Scrutinize?
Never mind. Frank did it.
I got a 2 on my search.
Ooh, it appears as if the body was dragged across the floor.
Oh.
Their fingernails scoring the
Oh.
floorboards. Towards?
There are probably some, like, sticking out, too. If,
Jesus. All right, Saw.
Towards the bedroom.
Oh, well, that just sounds like that's personal business.
Ooh. You guys saw an episode of Girls like that.
Does Bartholomew just think a sack of beets got carried to the bedroom?
Well, I just I didn't notice it as quickly as y'all.
I wanted it to be a learning experience for you.
Yeah.
No, you already got a treat. You don't need any more.
Okay, so I guess Frank, you want to point All right. This is all
rifle?
communicated, right?
Or she just closes the door. like, it's gross.
Well, I suppose we're gonna have to go and see what's going on in there.
All right.
1, 2, 3,
So
not it.
just to clarify, there was only one. It looked like one body got dragged out of there.
Yes.
Or they were really careful.
Or they dragged them in a line so that they obfuscate their numbers.
To hide their numbers.
I clutch my medicine bag, hold my head high,
And your pearls.
and well, I rummage in my bag first and get like a handkerchief to cover my nose with, and then I'll go in.
All right, horse, you stay in the back and kind of cover us in case someone comes running out of the door.
Does Horace actually have a gun at this point?
Yep.
Yes.
No, he's just crying in the corner.
He still has the gun from when we were in the cave. That's his weapon now.
Oh. So I look over at Horace and well, Doris, you keep track of this door. I know it can get pretty boring doing guard duty, and he rolls Horace a quick little cigarette and sticks it in. He gives it to him. I was gonna say sticks it in his mouth and lights it for him, but that's a little much. He just gives Horace the cigarette to do
Yeah,
with what
you've
he
got-
will. The
You've
peer
got a
pressure.
life partner now. You can't be flirting with that.
You don't have to smoke that if you don't want, horse, but you might need
You might need it.
It-
Smoke
it's
if
good
you
for
got
you,
'em.
Horace. I'm sorry, I called you
Well-
Doris.
Before you guys get to the bedroom, you hear something skittering across the floor.
Ugh, I do not
The
like skittering.
Does it sound like a familiar type of skittering?
Like someone drumming their fingers on the floor.
But not their
It is.
fingernails.
I
on
told
stone.
you. I told y'all. It's a bunch of baby Mothmen. Oh, here we go again. Train stopped. Mothman in trouble.
And
Are you ready to die again, Clem?
And
I ain't
just-
touching nothing this time.
Feel like that's
His pinky will just come off.
Just throw your
And-
pinky at it. We'll be fine.
And just for that, a disembodied hand grasps Bartholomew at the ankle.
Please.
I stomp on it.
Wait, first you scream.
Yeah.
Well, I do that concurrently.
Oh, I want to hear, this.
When you scream, it releases and runs to the other.
they-
or
So-
not runs,
So are
but-
you just stomping over and over again, trying to get it?
It's dark. My searching is a 1. Yes. I think I got some seaweed on my ankle, guys.
Seaweed.
You know how that can catch you off guard.
Oh.
Yes, because we are so close to the ocean. That is
Wyoming.
a thing that happens often here in Wyoming.
Are we in Wyoming?
I believe they call that the
Yeah.
rectangular thing.
For some reason, I thought we were lower.
Nope, he explicitly stated Wyoming earlier.
Interesting. I was not paying attention.
Someone
Notes.
to talk.
Did anyone else see what it was?
No, it's too dark. And we didn't care.
Yeah.
One. Let's see.
Is the loneliest.
Loneliest number.
Sorry.
That by
Yeah, anyway.
For
So-
Bartholomew.
Allie suddenly feels a cold grasp around her wrist.
I jerk my hand away.
Oh, it's just Clem.
Roll a strength.
Do we have strength? Oh, down here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's
Oh,
2d8.
God. Mine is 3d4. That's pathetic.
I got 2d4.
Okay, you're more pathetic.
That's by definition. That's by
Okay, 8, 15.
Oh,
Ooh.
well,
Yeah, I aced.
yeah, so you tug back and throw the disembodied hand across the room
Excuse you.
and hit.
The cat just sat on all my dice.
You hit Clem straight in the face with the disembodied hand.
And a muffled voice you hear, I heard of high fives, but this is ridiculous.
We all take 4 psychic damage.
From that bad pun?
Yep.
That particular hand just kind of falls to the ground, stunned.
I shoot at it.
Wait, you can't see anything.
How close
have
is
a
it
vague
to
idea.
me? Just straight in front of my feet.
Yep.
Dance.
So what do I need
All
to
right.
roll?
And
A
you're
shooting?
gonna have to do negative something.
Well, if you're gonna do shooting, y'all might as well draw up cards.
Oh, God.
boy.
Oh.
And
All right.
it's we roll quickness.
Yes.
Quickness.
And
yep.
then for every
Five.
5, we get one
One.
card. Okay.
Up to 5 cards.
Up to 3.
Was it 3?
Did we?
I thought it was 5.
Funny you say 3. That's what I rolled. Awesome.
No.
Didn't you check that once before?
And we
Did you
don't
check
add
it
them
wrong?
together. We just take the highest of our quickness dice, right?
Yep.
Correct.
Because this says less than. Wait. 5x equals 1 card. 5 plus equals 1. Wait, what does this mean?
So 10 equals 2 cards, 15 equals 3.
Right, just trying to figure out what she wrote.
Yeah. I thought you said it was 5.
Maybe it could be 5. Let's say it's 5.
I've
It's
gotten
5
5
this
before,
side.
dude. It has.
It is 5 then. I decree
I-
it to be 5.
Okay, I got
You
3,
decree it.
so we got that going for me.
Hey, 3 Z's.
Aw. I only got 1 for once.
1 card.
Wow, these hands
I'm
are
saying
gonna
I
slap
rolled
the
3.
shit
Oh.
out of us.
So you don't get any
So,
cards?
so did Josh, yeah.
I got a black joker.
Ooh.
Do I have jokers in mine?
Oh,
Yeah, I do.
jokers mean you can go whenever you want.
At any time.
Oh, okay.
Was that both jokers? I thought that was just...
Yeah, it's both jokers.
Alright.
Yeah.
So we got a
So it's
Joker and a
just a-
7 on Kimberly, 5 on Aerie.
Nothing on Josh. Nothing on Bart.
So,
Okay.
so whenever, other than
So-
whenever Kimberly wants to go, the next number for us is 7.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll just go now
Jeez.
then, I guess.
That's probably
Unless
a good
the
idea.
bad guys
Okay.
go first.
So you'll go
well,
first.
She has a
I give a
joker.
joker, so I can just go whenever. So I'm gonna go ahead and
Wanna
just go
waste it,
first
sure.
Okay.
because I've still got another action after this.
Okay.
So I threw the thing, it hit him in the face, and then somebody tried to shoot it.
Yeah.
Well, I was getting ready to shoot it.
You were getting ready to shoot
Yeah.
it.
It's
Fell to
really
the ground
funny.
in front of Clem.
He's like, I'm gonna shoot it, and then just changes his mind.
Yeah. Maybe he
I'm still
misfires.
like fumbling with
Yeah.
the gun.
But he's still got he's got the creepy crawlies because
Yeah.
it touched him.
So, is there anything else moving? Like,
Just Bart.
That you can see? No,
Yeah.
just the 2 hands.
Oh, there's 2 hands.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
Yours.
oh,
All right then.
like
I thought it was the same hands.
I thought it was the same hand.
No, because one grabbed his ankle.
Yeah,
one
but then I
grabbed
kicked
I thought it
away.
was the same one.
wrist.
Is it a left and a right? Or
That's a
you
good
know.
question.
You know what? I will say yes. One is
Okay.
a left and one is a right.
That's
So-
because it could have meant there were
No,
if there were
they're
2
fucking
rights, it could
fair.
have been a really
Don't
big
kill
wrong.
them.
You know,
So
They
one
made
is,
for
I
life.
mean, for life.
meaning 2 people would
so
die.
one is
It's
on the
fine.
ground by Clem, about to get shot. Where is the other one?
In the corner.
I'm gonna shoot at it.
Okay.
This
Yeah, I'm gonna shoot it. All right.
Sucks.
I have a lot of money,
I
guys.
will shoot him.
which is 4.
No, your shooting is gonna be at a -2
because
because
it's dark.
Okay.
well, it's dark and it's small.
Moving.
So I
You're trying
roll
to shoot
first and
a
then
hand.
subtract.
Yes.
Yes.
So 4, 10, 7. So 5.
You hit.
Woohoo! Okay, and then I roll a d20.
We're just gonna shoot it.
Well, yeah, we're
Where am I? Like,
the uppercuts of the hand.
I got, like the
Well,
palm
so-
and then the thumb and the fingers. I mean,
No, I'll tell you now. You hit its hand.
Okay, oh, good. Oh,
I feel like
good.
that's a bit
And then
railroady, but
my
whatever.
damage is 3d6, and I add the damage dice together, right?
Yes.
Yep.
8. Okay, I'm done.
8.
Yep.
Mhm.
Okay. See the first hand, which we'll say is
Are
the
these
one.
human hands?
Oh, good question.
Yes, they are human hands.
They could have been monkey hands.
Or-
They could have
Monkey
been.
mermaid hands.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Goes all the way around.
So the hands are doing
Oh.
stuff now.
Yep. So the first hand,
Is that the one I just shot
the one you just shot, yeah,
in the hand?
is going to what's its speed?
Just a hand. I mean,
Hand speed.
It's
Thing.
fast. It's fast enough that it's going to try and fight Bartholomew.
Is this Luke Skywalker's hand?
I mean, you know, Thing and from the Addams family and the possessed hand in Evil Dead, all of those moved really fast.
That's fair.
Yep. Yep. So,
And an idle hand.
good news is
Yeah.
it didn't hit
oh good.
Bartholomew.
Well, what is it
Is
trying
that
to
the
hit
good
me?
news?
It was just attacking.
Maybe we wanted it to.
So,
I
here's
like
how they...
went, ooh, and like scooted back a little bit. Gross, gross, gross. Gross. I mean,
Yeah.
we got this.
Ew, ew, ew,
Wait,
ew, ew.
should I roll? Should I roll for Horus? Because Horus has
Yes.
a gun.
Forestified.
I don't. We don't really have a character sheet for Horus.
I mean, we're still kind of in the doorway, right? Like,
Yeah, we
you
haven't
can
really
see all
left the
this.
area.
We'll say Horus gets a card, and then your homework is to do a Horus character sheet.
Sounds fair.
Because I've just been using the kid template for Horus when
Got
I
it.
need his stats.
That's fair.
Okay, so Horus got a 9.
Okay.
For his kids to go next.
So the second hand, which is the one at...
It's the long skinny one,
Yep.
and it moves really fast around the. Never mind.
Yeah. The
I'm
second
hilarious.
hand, which is currently at Clem's feet, is going to attack Clem. And, oh, he did... What's your fighting, Clem?
It is 1d12.
Okay, yeah. So the second hand misses. And then from the rafters,
oh
Oh
no.
no.
the third hand
Ugh.
drops on top, or attempts to drop on top
It-
of Frank.
Is it a right or a left?
They're all right. It's crazy.
No, we've got one of each
I know,
already.
The
It-
kids are alright.
Okay, just to avoid the question again, there are 4 hands, and it's 2 lefts and 2 right.
Okay. Spoilers, God.
Now,
Yeah,
are
right.
they human
Wow.
hands?
Are they all human hands?
Yes, they're all human hands.
Are they male or female hands?
Mm.
And so, Frank, you get 5 damages to your left arm
Uh-oh.
as the hand descends and grabs your shoulder and just squeezes down.
So what is that?
Really?
5 damage.
One for each finger.
Is that
Oh.
serious? Maimed?
No, that's
Wind? I'm so confused by that.
so 5 means you're lightly damaged.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
1 wound.
Yeah,
To your right arm.
for every points of damage, for every 5 points of damage, it's a wound level.
Got it. And you said my right
Yeah.
arm?
Yep.
Feeling your muscles.
So wait, do I put the 5 down here or no?
No, now she has a roll on her wind, right, or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, her wind is like 1d6, and that's how much wind you'll get. You'll take.
2.
Okay. Okay. So that's 3 of the hands. 7.
That's me.
No,
Okay.
I have the
Oh, you
9
have it-
for the boy.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, okay.
For
yeah,
the
go.
boy.
For the boy. I brought up the kid archetype, by the way, so we'll just use
Oh,
that
good.
for now. All right. Well,
Okay.
he's gonna try to shoot at the hand that isn't right next to Well, I guess they're both right next to people. Clem, I think, is closer to him because he was giving him a cigarette, so he's gonna shoot at the one near Clem.
Okay.
So let's see here. His deafness is a D8 for him, and he's got 2 pistoling. I'm just gonna presume he's the same pistol that I'm using for ease of use.
You know he has the same as you. He wants to be just like his cousin.
6. So that should hit, right? Oh, at minus 2, so 4.
That's a miss.
Yep. He shoots Clem in the foot.
God.
Well, it sparks off the wood. But... Okay.
Oh, damn it, kid. Watch where you're shooting.
7?
Did you have a 7 also? Somebody?
Nope, I haven't.
No, I think he's saying 7 because it's you.
I know. I'm just checking. I didn't want to interrupt again.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he just forgot I had the 9. That's all.
That's all. Okay.
Yeah.
I am going to the hand I shot. Tried to hit somebody, but failed, or hit somebody and I hit
Yeah.
Frank and did a little damage. Right.
Right.
That's the one. Is it in a
No,
place?
that's a different one.
Oh, it was a different
Yeah.
one.
The one you threw hit Clem.
Right.
That's still
And
next
then
to Clem.
one fell from the rafters and got me.
Yeah, but I shot neither of those. I shot the other one that
Right.
was in the corner. The
Right,
one
the one that's now next to me.
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
So is it safe for me to shoot it? Is it like
Yes.
all up on his body? I guess. is what I meant
The
to say.
Bartholomew one would be safe to shoot.
Okay, well I'm gonna do that. That is
Aim for
4d10.
Bartholomew's actual hand.
9 is my highest, so 9.
9 minus 2 is 7. Yep.
Yes.
You hit.
I forgot about the minus 2.
So the D20. Doug. What was it, 20?
I
What am I
hit
saying?
it in the hand.
Yep.
12 damages.
Boom.
Dang.
That hand,
Now we're-
skitters forward and then just kind of rolls over and cups.
Now we're-
then
It
Like
explodes,
a-
and now we're fighting 5 wormy fingers.
It so basically curls up like a spider.
yep, just like a
Gross.
spider.
Now, I do have 3d10 knowledge, and so that means that hand is powered by bags of water that expand.
Yeah, that seems right.
Probably.
You are a doctor, so I trust that we're on the same page. It's the humor is what make it move.
Mhm.
You do seem like a knowledgeable man. It seems a little weird, but I'll listen to you, Bartholomew.
Alright.
All right.
Our next card is a
5.
5.
Okay. Go ahead.
Is there a way for me to just grab? Because the hand is still on me.
Yeah.
Can
Just do your fighting roll against it.
fight? Oh, I do. 48.
48. That's a lot.
48.
Yeah, whoa.
I just kept acing. I don't know what to tell you.
But I can tell you that Dee Dee's not helping you roll.
Oh, she is not.
Ooh,
Okay.
ace.
Minus 2. 12.
Yeah, yeah, you're able to grab a hold of it.
Alright. Are we intertwining fingers?
Aw. Gross.
So, do you have a weapon, or are you just gonna like try and crush it?
Do I have anything I could, like, stuff it in? No.
Allie probably
Ooh,
does.
can't just hit it with a...
Ooh.
I have a rope. Can I, like, tie it up? Or put it in my trapper cap?
Oh,
So like
Fashion a
trapper
finger
trap?
trap.
What?
I said fashion.
I tell you what. Roll your strength.
Okay. I think I have... Oh, I do. Not much, but I have a little bit. Yeah. Well, that aced. Okay, 2 aces. Does strength have to take into account -2?
Not in this case.
Okay, so 6.
Because if it just has to do with darkness.
Okay. So, since you aced twice, I will give you the option of...
Oh, I
you
only
can-
aced once, but I aced.
On two
I was
dice.
just,
Aced.
yeah.
Oh, I see.
I
Oh,
aced
okay.
on 1, and then I got a 2. So I
Okay.
got 6 in all.
So,
I
one
wish I
ace,
aced
that's
those.
fine. You can either fling it from yourself,
Okay.
or you can deal it 6 damage.
6 damage.
'Kay.
I think I just, like, put it in my cap and smashed it against the wall.
All right. The fourth and final hand drops from the ceiling on top of Allie's head.
Oh, on your head.
Not your head.
So that hits. Wait, what's your fighting, Allie?
You're the
0. Nada. Nothing.
No
Okay.
fighting.
So that hits. And I do 8 points of damage.
Oopta.
Yikes.
Okay, so
It's a,
green.
so it's still just a light wound, though?
Yeah.
Okay, so remind me again how I can spend fate points for fate chips.
You can spend a white chip to soak a wound, a red chip to soak 2 wounds. I think it's 2 and 3.
Okay, so 8 damage is 1 wound plus 3,
Or is it just,
Yes.
at that point, ends at 1?
or is it just 1 wound?
It's 1 wound and then 3 damage towards your second wound.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so do I like hold on to that for like for
Yeah.
next time?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
if you spend white, you would be,
At 3.
yeah, is
Where do
my
I put
understanding.
That. Oh, sorry. And where do I put those 3 that I would have left over? Just anywhere.
Yeah.
I'm gonna write it right here, and then
Well-
next time I'll be
So,
like,
what, yeah, where did it hit?
yeah, where
Yeah,
did it hit me?
that is a very good question, let me tell you.
Oh,
where it
that's
hit.
right. Where's the bag? Oh, no, that's not it. I tried to put it in my dice bag.
Cheater.
It hit you. In
Your butt.
the...
I mean, it did
Yes.
fall on my head.
But then it could have crawled around.
But it could have.
Yes. It hit you on your left leg.
Yeah. It really
So it like
crawled around.
tumbled down and just kind of.
Put its
It's
claws
got those.
in you.
It's got those like shredded fingernails
Yep.
Ugh.
and just scraped down your leg.
Ow, gross.
So there you go.
All
Is that
right.
it?
Do we roll for quickness now, or did the hands all get a turn?
Yep. So roll your quickness.
I'm spending more chip power on this next time. I'm done with
Right?
rolling just one. Oh, 5, yes.
Yay!
Is 2d12, I think, for me. Where'd it go? There it is.
One
Aww.
down. Yeah, me neither. Did you get one? Oh, good.
So I got one, and Horace got one.
Josh got one.
Yeah.
I got the Zappo. I got nothing.
So I've got a 10 and a 4.
Nice.
I've got a 10 as well.
Ooh.
Well, you guys get to go first then.
All right.
Will
Horace
it
lets
take?
Clem go. Yeah.
I was just curious. Will it take the whole action to switch? Because I said I had my rifle, but to switch to my saber.
Mm.
I mean, I guess I could just hold my rifle in my left hand and pull the saber out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's going to be just, really hair trigger on that. Yeah, I'm going to pull out my saber and swing, I guess, at the hand that landed towards my feet.
Okay.
And so I think would that be fighting? Fighting?
Yep. It's fighting.
Okay. And that's a 7.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay, so it says the damage is strength plus 2d8.
Mm-hmm.
My strength is 4d8. So how do I add that?
So you roll your 48, taking the highest, and you can actually ace it. So that is a strength check, essentially.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I think he's messing.
So hold on. Sorry, there's so much rolling right now for the simple attack.
You need more dice, Josh.
Mm-hmm.
I know. Well, I usually do have more with me. Again, I'm also rolling with these fancy metal dice. I can't get
Oh.
over them. I need to get more of those.
I've got a set of those dice. I'm actually using one tonight.
I just have a buttload of chess X and other shit.
Okay, so that'd be a total of 11 damage.
Nice.
Well, and this is the one at your feet?
Yeah.
11. Okay. So you bring your saber down in a stabbing motion and you pin it to the ground, and it's sitting there, hand twitching a little bit, and when you go to pull your saber back out, it stands back up and it scurries around a little bit, getting ready for its next attack.
Oh, damn.
Oh, dip.
Little bastard.
All right. So where are all the hands that are still alive? One's
Yeah.
dead, right?
One is
One-
down.
One's dead.
One's in
one,
my hat.
Yeah. One is at Frank's feet. One is at Clem's feet. The one that was at Bartholomew's feet is dead, and then there's one at Allie's feet.
Well, he's gonna shoot at the closest one he can see, which would probably be Clem's feet.
Okay.
Let's just shoot again. 2. Uh, 4 minus 4 is 0.
No, you do not hit.
No, he does not hit. Right.
The shot
Now
gets
next
pretty
card
close
is-
to Clem, and he's practically dancing between Bartholomew and his cousin. He's like, "Would you
Yeah.
two just damn aim?"
The next card I have is 4.
Okay. I've got a 9. Anybody?
No,
Nope.
no one else has cards.
Yeah, I think it's.
All right. So then the one at Clem's feet is going for Clem again because you stabbed him, yeah, asshole. What did we say your fighting was? 2d8?
1d12.
1d12. Okay, so that hand doesn't hit.
It just keeps kind of doing like a weird flapping motion towards Clem. He kind of steps away.
Allie's hand.
You're doing all that dancing, it's hard to get you.
That's the hand by me, you mean? Oh, yeah. the one that
What
just
did
fell
you
down.
say the next card you guys had was?
4.
4. Okay. So Allie's hand. Allie, what's your fighting?
Nothing.
Okay, so Allie's hand hits
Mm-hmm.
her 15.
Oofda.
I think that's the where it hits.
Oh. I was gonna say,
Yeah.
that's pretty rough.
I was like, that's a lot.
It's a straw. Using my strong hand.
Your upper guts.
Mm.
It apparently cops a feel.
Not my boobies! Don't touch my boobies.
It cops a feel
away.
to the tune of 6 damage.
To my guts. That's some
Yep.
rough foreplay. I'm gonna soak some of that.
As he was in life, so he is in death. Passionate but rough lover.
This one must have been the sheriff.
Right.
Yeah, the doc is sworn to do no harm.
I mean, when the guy is getting frequent deliveries from the 2 maddest of mad scientist companies.
He might not be as
On the
Hippocratic
up and
as you might think.
Right, as soon as you said that, I was like, damn, should have talked to the railroad boys, but missed opportunities.
Yep.
Yeah. It's always next time. Oh. Okay. 5s? Okay, this is Frank's hand. And Frank's hand is going to take its action to get untangled from Coonskin Cap, so.
Yep.
Alright. Horace, is that it? Is that the last
Yeah.
card?
No, now it's Bart. Bartholomew.
Oh, okay.
It was Horace before. So is the hand out of her cap or still in her cap?
It's out of her cap.
Okay. I was gonna have her
So you
hold it
can
out.
Yeah. You can shoot it without fear of damaging her
Cap.
clothing.
Well, I'm not really too concerned about that as long as it doesn't hurt my suit. All right, I guess I will try to shoot her spider hand.
My spider.
Spider hand.
Spider hand.
Spider hand. Get out of my head. Get out of my head.
2. Did I not leave those out? What the hell, Dan?
I'm sometimes disturbed by how much Dan and I think alike.
5. Okay. I got 5d10s on my sheet.
Jeez Louise.
Machi machi.
Oop, that's a ace there. So 19 minus 4, so or 4 to 2, 15 or 17.
What?
There we go.
We got there eventually.
17 to hit.
So, yeah, that hits just a little.
I know.
Are you sure? Sure? Positive?
Yeah.
12. So it's uppercuts.
Okay. The
AKA
wrist.
the hand. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then his gun does 3d6. No, yeah, 3d6 damage.
Can we keep the stat block of the kid for horse? Because I really love the idea that he's better than
He is so much. No matter what I do, he's going to be better than me in a lot of ways. My shooting's a lot better now. 10.
10 damage.
Yeah.
So that's 2 wounds. Yep, that's enough. That hand just kind of becomes a blood smear as
Damn.
bits of gristle and bone and flesh just kind of
Now, it's
explode
seahorse. That's how you hit a hand instead of making Clem dance. And I slightly tilt my head to Clem.
Oh, you said
Oh, wait,
seahorse.
wait,
I said
sorry.
seahorse.
Sorry,
Seahorse?
you were shooting at Frank's hand, so weren't you?
Yeah. I was.
Yeah. Okay,
Horace was
so-
shooting at Clem's, and that's why he was saying that to me.
Yeah. Okay, so Frank's hand now has, it gets hit, it kind of slides back across the floor a little bit, but then it stands up and shakes the wrist and starts walking, skittering forward.
It starts snapping like it's in West Side Story.
It has to jump up and jump up. Jump
Yeah.
up.
It's gonna throw the whole beat off.
It is.
That's true.
All right, let's do it again.
All right. Watch none of us get it this time.
All right.
Yeah. Oh wait, no, I got one.
I got one.
Bartholomew did not.
I mean, I rolled an 8, so I
So
got.
the one that just groped my boobs, is it still on my boobs, or did it fall down again?
It's still there.
Mm,
So
okay.
Horace got 2 cards. Bartholomew got 0.
What?
Damn.
He's emboldened by the beautiful speech that Bartholomew gave him.
I got a
I
9.
rolled an 8 and drew an 8.
I got a king.
I've got a 6 and a 3.
Nice.
Dang.
We've got kind of got a spread this time.
Yep, and the hands are Jack, 5, and 4.
Whoops.
So I guess King go for it.
All right. What would I need to do to smack this thing off me?
Fighting.
And I've got 0 fighting, so.
Or you could just be like, "Oh God," and just shoot it off your boobs.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that.
Drop to the ground, smush it.
Stop, drop, roll.
I mean, okay. What do I do? What happens if I need to do a thing but I don't have points in it?
You do
It's
it at a.
-4.
Yeah.
But then you have -2 as well because you have no.
So it's
Because
total
he's
of
visual.
-6? Or is it?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So I would roll. So I would roll like my nimbleness
Yep.
and then subtract 6.
Yep.
My nimbleness is 1d8.
Oh Jesus!
So
better
looking good
ace it.
so far.
You better ace it.
I rolled a 6, so
So
Yeah.
So I just sort of flail at it. Like,
you go like this.
I'm like kind of like brushing at it.
Allie, now is not the time to try to get us with your woman the wilds. We are fighting giant monster hands.
The monster hands. Says the man with no quickness.
All right.
I'm so distracted. That's why he's not going this way.
Oh, that could be it.
Get it up, get it up, get it up, get it up, get it up.
All right. So no queens. So alley hand. Alley Hand, apparently, with Allie running around like a mad woman, loses its grip and falls off on the floor.
Yay!
Huzzah!
So, after Jack, what was the next last card?
I have a 10.
You have a 9.
I mean, I have a 9. Cheating over here.
He's easily confused. It's
It's fine.
What do you have, Josh?
No.
I have an 8.
Okay, so Ari has an 8.
Harry, here you go.
You don't have anything? Alright. So what, my guy's on the ground? Can I hit him with the butt of my rifle with fighting?
Yes.
Okay. 4d8.
So I know what I'm spending my next.
Right. That's what I did. Ooh, yay! 1 ace.
I mean, it's you gotta find where you're weak by playing.
15.
Otherwise, you don't know what's important until you don't.
Right.
15 damage?
Yep.
Or was it
Or
15?
15 to attack.
No, 15 to attack, sorry.
Oh, yeah, you hit.
And then what would the damage be for just bludgeoning with my rifle?
Let's say... Let me pull up the chart, but it's going to be strength plus something.
Okay.
Strength plus something.
Oh yeah, same with my.
Alright.
Key.
Yeah, 'cause my knife is a strength plus 1d4. The whip is just strength.
Let's see.
So how about that baby Yoda?
Alright. I'm going to say...
That just seems like so much damage.
Do you want
like if
to
you increased your
use
strength?
it like
You could be a
brass
pretty
knuckles or like
tough
a large
brawler.
club?
Probably like a large club.
Okay, so it's strength plus 1d6.
So it's like you're going like 4.
Cool. 10 damage.
Okay, but like as cute as Baby Yoda is, I kind of want to see like surly teenager Yoda.
I don't know. We saw surly teenage Groot.
I know he could be like emo. He could be like emo Yoda.
His eyes would disappear if you put on that dark mascara.
That's true. But I did think about that. We've already seen teenager Groot, and there's a lot of comparisons between Baby Groot and Baby Yoda already. So that's fair.
So did it kill the hand, or is it still scooting around?
It's like got one pinky
What?
trailing behind
Did
it.
she knock it away, or is it still next to her?
You knocked it a little bit away, but it was more like you came down with the butt and it like crunched.
Ooh.
And it's just kind of there, kind of staggering to, quote, wake back up.
Got it. So then Josh is next, or Clem, I should say.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna use a fighting with that saber again on the same one I stabbed.
Alrighty.
And that would be an 8.
Yep, you hit.
Alright. Oh, yes, I rolled the right thing. For a second I thought I overrolled there, but no, we're good. So, let me just add up all of this real quick.
What?
Popped my foot.
Oh.
And I don't normally pop it.
Oh, this hand's gonna be in trouble.
Yeah, there's a lot of rolling happening.
So let me think here.
Is it more than 15?
Oh, it's way more than 15.
So you just hack it to pieces with your... Well, actually, you know what? You describe what you do.
No, that's pretty much exactly. Clem's tired of dancing around. He's already skewered this thing, and at this point, he's just kind of wildly chopping at it. and just going, "You sorry 5-fingered sod, 4-fingered sod, 3," and just keeps counting down as he's chopping on it until it's pretty much
Clem
just a
only
little pile
stops
of.
when there's hamburger.
Yep.
Handburger.
Oh, nice.
See what you did
Or
there.
possibly just hamburger helper with a little hand.
Right?
I like my first one better.
No glove, no love.
All right.
Is that a condom joke?
Yes.
Frank Hand is staggering to get back up. Attacks. Gets a hold of her foot.
Appropriate.
And does 1 damage.
1 damage.
To your foot. Which one? Right or left?
Left.
Oh, that's your
So does that count
that's your
as
good foot.
light damage?
No, you just take 1 point of damage, and if you get to 5, then it'll actually do a wound.
Right? We said, geez, I'm all left nowadays.
I keep getting hit on the red. There's nothing left. Did you drop blood? Nope. But
I'll
ouch,
give you
though.
such a pinch.
I poke you. I poke you. I poke you.
All right.
Horace has a
and
6 and a 3.
All right. Go for it, Mr. Horse.
All right. Well, he's going to. So there. How many are left? Is it just?
There's Alley Hand and Frank Hand.
And Alley Hand is on the ground now.
Yes, they're both.
I totally brushed it off. It didn't
Well, since
fall.
Frank's is still kind of away, he's gonna shoot at that one first.
Okay. Which one? Alley Hand or
Frank.
Frank Hand.
Frank Hand? Okay.
So he's gonna shoot a shooting 2D. Oh, sorry, 8, not 6. That's the other one. Okay. Ooh. 15 minus 2, so 13.
Yeah, that does it.
That's
It was shooting, so.
So that is 9 damages.
That does it.
Dead.
It's dead.
All my hands are dead. I still have 1 left. Do any more hands still have to go, or is it Horace's turn again?
It's Horace's turn again.
Okay, so he quickly turns from the dead hand and fires at the other one.
Horace is the hero of this one.
Seriously.
Oh, not so much. A 0.
Okay.
I mean, there's only so much he can do.
Huh.
All right. Draw him up again.
Again?
Ooh, yeah.
We have 1 hand left, so
One hand.
should be pretty close to done, I would hope.
Yeah. It's not like it's gonna come back and kill you all.
All right, well, Bartholomew gets 2 cards.
I get nothing.
Me too.
I got 1.
I rolled 1 as well. Onesies.
Except she gets 1 card.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Yeah,
I just rolled bad.
And Horace gets 2 cards. And he got a joker, so he's
Good lord.
He's gonna go first.
Damn.
Yeah, and the hand got a 4, so
Well,
let me know when you guys are done.
I've got a 4 and a 3 here also. So, but but Horace got a joker, so he's gonna use that
Okay.
because he wants he's just bang bang is really what's happening here.
He's got a boner for murder.
Uh-huh.
Murder boner, you know, like you do. No, it's 2 shots in a row technically. 1.
No.
All right. Well, that was a good use of that joke. Okay, and then I've got my next one's an 8, and it looks like Kimberly has a
Jack. I have a Jack.
What
Sorry.
do you, and you didn't have anything, right, Josh? So,
Yeah, I had nothing.
All right, so Alan's next.
Okay. So I'm gonna shoot at the one that just fell off of me,
Yep.
which is 40-10. I'll remember this by the end of the game, and then have to remember again next time. So that's 1 ace.
Ooh.
17 minus
2,
so 15.
Yep, that hits.
Okay, so that's 3d10. 13.
Points of damage.
Yep.
Yep, that pretty much does it in.
I'll go over to it and kick it.
I
To make sure.
I pulled some tweezers out of my bag and pick one up and examine it.
I'm like,
It
from
looks like a hand.
From
like-
past experience, dead are not always dead. Am I right, Clem?
So like,
You got
is it
that
like
right, good buddy.
thing where like the end of the wrist just is sort of like this smooth like stump,
Yeah,
or is it like bloody?
It looks like, it looks like, they appear to be from 4 different people.
Oh, interesting.
They appear to have been cut, perhaps not gracefully, from the body of a dead man or person. It's kind of hard to tell
Do they have any
based on
jewelry?
a hand.
I don't know. You can sometimes tell.
I'm starting
Yeah,
to
does
believe
it look
that
more?
I'm starting to believe that this doctor was not just putting leeches on people.
Does it look more like a sheriff hand or a deputy hand? It's going to
Does
be
it
way
have a big
softer
star
the
or a
other
little
one's doing
star?
more work. Yeah.
Any markings or jewelry or
Nope, they're just dead hands.
Do they have their sheriff ring on?
Nope. Nope.
The sheriff. Was the sheriff married? That's the question.
I kind of hold my bag open and I'm kind of like looking at I'm kind of like debating, do I put, and then I set it back down on the ground. I'm not that messed up.
At this point, they're just hands.
Yeah.
Dead hands. I think we should continue our investigation into the destination of the blood trail. What do you think?
I concur.
I think Frank nodded her head, but it's hard to hear on the podcast.
Frank's already looking around the corner to search for more.
Hands?
No. Searching for more clues as to what the frig is going on.
So, in the bedroom,
Yeah.
you notice it is the only room in the house that hasn't been destroyed.
Interesting.
Is it covered in blood, though?
Nope.
So
Well-
blood just goes to the doorway and stops?
Blood, there is blood in the room, but it's not.
Destroy.
The other rooms, like all the furniture has been knocked over and
Okay.
broken. This one, not so much. There's blood.
Does the
there, though.
trail go cold there? Like, or does it seem like it goes into a closet or under the bed or onto the bed?
Why don't you roll a notice check?
So,
Where's
Probably
notice?
Or not, searching. Sorry.
Oh, I did
See
12.
if you notice,
I
check.
got 12 for searching.
good noticing that we don't have any. Well,
Mm,
I got
do
a
little bit
2
of
on
searching.
mine, and
Searching.
Or front.
I got a 2 to search.
I got a 12.
and Horace got a 3.
I got a 10.
So, Frog, the
Yes.
super skilled.
We're looking
tracker,
literally the opposite direction of where it goes.
Yeah,
Yes.
usually.
You notice that under one of the rugs.
She flips it
Oh,
with
sorry.
her
Is a secret
rifle.
door.
and then she hits her rifle against the door. It's hello? Bartholomew? Would you like to do the honors?
No, not particularly, but I will. this is a willing to do, not necessary a like to do.
Did we leave Horace at the front door?
Yeah,
still?
we're still leaving him there.
Okay.
Unless he's, I mean, the marshal controls what he does. He's not. If he thinks that it's too dangerous to be by himself, he will follow us. He has his own free will.
I mean, a kid.
We'll have him cover the hallway for now.
Okay, so he's like in the doorway of the bedroom.
Yeah.
So I pick up the door a little bit and then stick my foot under it and lift it with my foot just in case there's like it's covered in hands or something. I don't know. Covered in Mothman.
Mothman hands. And then you drop it and kick it open.
Yeah. It's like lifting up a toilet seat when you don't want to touch it with your hands.
All right. So so y'all go down into the basement.
I guess.
Yeah.
What do we see when we open it? Can we see
A
anything?
grisly sight awaits you.
A grizzly bear.
Yeah. In the basement.
A ring bear.
Oh no.
Dr. Sawyer's corpse is spread eagle on the floor.
How do we know he's the doctor? Does he wear a doctor's hat?
He has a little name tag that says
He's got the
Dr. Sawyer.
plague doctor.
Well, it's an old man, and you know the doctor is an old
Oh, that's right. We
man.
knew he was an elderly guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll give you that.
His chest has been cut open, and his heart has been removed.
Oh.
Around him are the mutilated bodies of what you can
Don't
assume
touch him,
are
Clem.
the sheriff and his deputies.
Oh my god.
Yep.
Bloodstained surgical equipment is scattered everywhere. Above the carnage stands a man, a patchwork quilt of cadaver parts,
Oh boy.
sewn together from different corpses and animated by a hellish mixture of science and magic.
Gross.
I tilt my hat and say, "Good afternoon, sir. Do you know what happened here?"
Mon Dieu. Evil
Okay.
has happened here.
I turned to Allie. I'm like, I read this book. It was Beauty Suits the Beast. You need to get yourself out there. Start dating again. Like right now.
Wait, are you? Wait. What? Right? What are you? What? Okay. Okay. I'm gonna.
I don't believe you've ever read a book, Bartholomew.
I have 3d10 knowledge.
Doesn't mean you read a book.
Yeah.
Maxwell, sorry, you don't know that's his name.
No, we don't.
The creature bum rushes Bartholomew.
Well,
you know what,
as
I'm
we
just
all want to do.
Yeah, I'm gonna punch this bum.
How do I jump out of the way?
You don't.
I've got to dodge, right?
Yep.
No,
I gotta-
dodging's for ballistics. I remember going through this. Fighting's for dodging, like.
Oh well, I
fists in a
don't have
fight,
any
too.
of that.
Yeah, I need to.
I mean, I could be wrong, but I remember having this conversation.
Yeah. Roll agility.
Or can I use my persuasion? Tell them to stop.
You can try.
Agility is nimbleness.
Yeah, nimbleness. Sorry.
Okay, that I did put stuff into
Oh, good.
the root level. $14.
Jeez.
I got 2 aces in a row.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
You get out of the creature's way, but now the creature is in the middle of you all. And
Middle of what?
Us.
Everybody?
Yeah.
and
Disconnected
draw cards.
again.
Oh,
Alright.
dear Lord.
Hey, that's not a bad spot for him to be in. We all just shoot his head at the end.
Ooh, I get 2 dice.
Ooh.
Or cards.
Ooh, I
And
got 3.
my cousin's still upstairs, right?
Yep.
Okay, I got a red joker and a queen.
Dang.
Okay, I got a 9, so I get to draw 1 card. I got 3. Jeez, Ari.
No, I got 17.
Dang.
And oh my god, these are horrible.
Ace 3 and 4 on Aries' part.
Did we establish that aces are 1?
Yes.
Or are they? Oh,
Yes,
they are.
and this. Yeah.
I knew that.
And what did you get, Josh?
Nothing.
Aww.
So,
Yeah.
Can I give him one of my cards?
so if you want, Ellie, you can go first.
I would like to go first, and I would like to shoot at it as he's running. I guess is that a thing?
Yep.
I keep having to look. 4d10. Because I don't remember how things work. 9.
Is it still dark?
Yes.
Okay, so 7.
Still hits.
Woohoo! Oh, but now I get to roll the d20. Ooh, I rolled a
Yes.
nat 20.
Oh shit.
I don't know what that means though.
You hit its head.
Woohoo!
Nice.
For 15 damage. Hachimachi.
Jeez.
Holy shit. Okay. Well, so out of character, I want to read you something.
Oh boy.
Maxwell. Weakness. Head. Attacks that target Maxwell's head inflict normal damage. If the head takes a single wound, Maxwell is put down.
Oh, what?
So he bum rushes towards Bartholomew, and Allie's just like, I'm going to cap a bitch.
Yeah, she
Boom.
really does. She's just standing right there. She's like,
Boom!
Maxwell runs.
Headshot.
Yep. He runs straight into the wall and then falls back.
'Twas
dead.
good beauty killed the beast.
See? Not quite what I said, but that's. I guess death is a form of soothing.
What were you?
And then he like falls and I kind of look like, that's it? I mean, woohoo.
Hands are more difficult.
Suppose talking is out now.
I kind of go over and I kind of like nudge him with my boot, like, hello?
For
Say-
the record, that the fight with Maxwell would have continued until you
Hit him in the head
hit him in the head.
with a force.
Dang.
You get nat 20.
On the
Basically.
first attack.
Well,
I was gonna fuck him up once we got to Ace.
Yeah.
Tell you what.
well, Miss Allie, this seems to be a bit more up your alley.
Yeah, I want to like investigate the. This is like this is the bedroom.
Well, we
Oh,
went
this is
down
the
into a
base.
We went
secret
down
lab.
into the secret lab. That's right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna do. I guess searching. Cause I want to
Okay.
I want to look for stuff that's useful, like cool, interesting things.
So I climb up while she's doing that just to let Horace know what happened, because he probably just heard a yell, a run, a gun, and a thump.
Yeah.
7. I rolled a 7.
And for all he knows, Bartholomew's dead
Yeah.
now.
I pop up, I'm like, don't worry, there was a chimera of a man. Allie capped him in one shot to the head.
And then you pop back down like
Yep.
a groundhog.
So I got 7 to search.
So you find his research notes.
Woohoo! Oh, yoink!
Yep.
Yeah, I'm reading every page of that on the
Yeah.
side.
So it appears Dr. Sawyer was fascinated with death
No shit.
and what effect it had
I'm picking up on that.
on the human body.
Yeah, it makes the body stop being a body. Anyway.
He his reasons were more or less benign. He just sought to prolong his life, but his
That
methods
worked
were
out.
rather insane.
Mm-hmm.
He managed to return a semblance of life to the dead flesh, but not the sort which would be
Like
Yeah.
Clem.
yeah. So
yeah, you're not going to turn into one of those, are you?
I sure hope not.
His penis does detach.
I heard an old folk song about that.
So he constructed 5 assistants, 4 hands, and Maxwell. You learn his name is Maxwell. And he was confident with their help he would soon crack the secret of genuinely returning the dead to life.
I elbow Clem like, seems like you beat him to it, huh?
Clem just kind of stares at Maxwell.
Yeah. Frank picks Maxwell's... Is he naked, or is he just...
He's wearing like overalls,
What?
like tattered.
Oh, okay.
So,
Like an
question.
operating gun type thing.
Question. You
Yeah.
said 5 helpers, and then those guys, or those guys are the 5 helpers?
Those guys are the 5
Okay,
helpers.
thank you. I was like, are we 5 to fight 5 more dudes?
Um,
I'll fight 5 more dudes!
So I
Frank?
go take a look at the doctor because he was... Sounds like he was surgically sliced open, but I doubt he would do it to himself.
No, he upon closer examination, and I'm not going to make you roll for this, it appears, Maxwell apparently has the skills of a butcher. He knows where to cut, but he's not graceful like a doctor.
Uh-huh.
Alright, Frank, motions to Clem, and they start... she wants to give Maxwell a proper burial.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Clem's into that.
Yeah. The doctor is on his own.
Right.
We'll let the town think.
We'll let the town grieve him, however. I don't think we can tell. I think we should tell... we can tell the people about the creature, but I think we should put him to rest before they come to wreak havoc.
Burn him in a most grotesque sort of way.
Indeed.
How many hands were left semi intact?
Was the sheriff or deputy, does it appear like they were used as part of this process?
Yeah, they appear to have been torn apart looking for parts to fix the doctor.
What?
Ugh.
You mean fix Maxwell or the doctor?
Horace?
That's not-
Try again?
Would it be Horace in French? Horace.
Horace. To whoever is the next after the deputy. Perhaps the tavern master.
I got a bit of an idea, and I guess I'm just looking to find as many of the hands that we had slain that were mostly intact.
Okay.
Was that 2 extra? 2 of them?
What are you gonna
Yeah.
do with them?
There were 2 of them that were.
And Clem does a shoddy, just quick little sew job of the hands onto the doctor's elbows. Voila, we got ourselves the monster that killed the deputy and the sheriff right here. Indirectly, of course, but the townsfolk don't need to know that.
This is... It seems like you guys play very fast and loose with corpses.
He was a corpse. He's allowed.
I'm just saying, Bartholomew,
before our
this
friend
man
here
was the
was an
monster.
Before our friend here was an ex-corpse, he did bring the train master cooked to attract the Mothman. Just saying, y'all play very fast and loose with the consecrated remains of our fellow man.
Consecrated. He took He started it.
All right, well, I guess the question here is, whose hands were those? I can understand if make your argument with his own hands sewn to his elbows, but other people's, I feel like we're still playing in a very more gray area.
But Bartholomew, we need to make him a monster, at least to show the town people.
Well, it's starting to sound like we're all becoming monsters in this situation now.
Yeah, well, Bartholomew, I'm not gonna argue this philosophical kind of sort of thing, but I done things I'm not proud of in the war, and this is tiddlywinks, if you will.
I just leave. I'm like, I don't want to know what happens after now.
Frank pokes her head up and tells Horace to go get one of the people that sent us here.
Like the mayor, someone in
Yeah,
authority.
somebody in authority.
Whoa, can we bury Maxwell first?
Well, yeah, but it's far enough away, I think. Oh, I guess
It's just on the outskirts of town. It's like
Whatever,
5
okay.
minutes.
we'll go bury him. And
Okay,
then
we
send
bury
Horace.
him and then
Send
shoo
Horace.
Horace off.
Go ahead, Horace.
Go on, get.
Yeah.
Okay. Horace.
I break out an
Trundles
apple. I sit out front of the building and just start eating the apple.
I'm just reading this guy's book. I'm
Yeah.
fascinated.
Every so often she shares stuff with Bartholomew.
It's like, oh, great, dude.
While you two carry the body to bury.
Yep.
Okay. So you bury the body. The townsfolk come up. They're like, "Oh, thank you." One of the guys stops a moment, looks the lot of you over, and walks up to Bartholomew and is like, "Would you and your friends consider being our new sheriff?"
Oh, yeah, I'm good.
I am flattered at the offer. I'm sure I would make an amazing sheriff, except that I wouldn't. Besides, there is a gentleman waiting for me, one of my father's friends in Deseret, and I'm already almost a week late at this point.
He
And
doesn't need your life story. Tell the gentleman no. Thank you.
Well,
I just want to let him know it's a no with a little bit of regret in it. That's all. It's not a hard no. It's a hard no. Thank you.
Meanwhile, Horse is like, I'll do it. I'm ready for life now. I grew balls. I don't know how it works.
Yeah, I
let
wanna-
us
I
at
wanna
least
move
pay
on.
for your room and board for the night.
Oh, messy.
That I'll take.
You twist my arm, sir, but I suppose that's a fair exchange.
Okay. So your rooms are all paid for the night, and is there anything else you guys wanted to do?
I take Clem to the tavern, the saloon, to buy him some drinks and hear try to hear what the fuck happened.
Yeah.
As best as what Clem wants to share.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually want to
Nice.
get in on listening to that.
Yeah, I think Clem is a little apprehensive. I tell most of the story, omitting the, what is that thing's name? Hold on. The Manitou.
Yep.
He, kind of doesn't really mention the Manitou in the story all that much, just the weird trials he had to go through. And sorry for the yawn. Also meeting Coot Jenkins, but he doesn't give the name.
Okay.
So you guys know the basics of what's going on, but the Manitou is a secret, and you guys don't know who Coot is.
Got it.
He's just
That's
your
it.
new life partner.
That's it. Interesting. That with my faith of 66. I clap on it and I say, well, God has a plan for all of us, and I guess it just wasn't your time.
Sounds like a math man has a plan for all of us.
Real quick, how much does a bottle of whiskey cost?
I'll buy you a bottle of whiskey. I have plenty of money.
Anything you want while you're here is pretty much.
Ooh,
on the
nice.
house.
Oh, okay,
There is definitely multiple bottles of whiskey by the end of this evening.
yeah, Clem is like, well, and not only that, look what I can do. And he just downs the whole bottle of whiskey, and even after that, he's not drunk. I read up on the Herod a little bit, so
Nice.
they can't
You're
be
like Captain
poisoned,
America.
drugged, or drunk or anything like that. So
Wait, so what's the point? I guess if you enjoy whiskey.
I like.
yeah,
Oh, I do.
I'm like. I lean over. I'm like, we're making money. Drinking contest. Who thinks he could drink this man under the table?
hell yeah.
All right. Maybe I'll.
Meanwhile, Allie is having me draw up pictures of mer monkeys. Like, I'm pretty sure I can make some money on this.
And the camera
So-
pans out the window as our group
Yes.
laughs and enjoys time together.
What horrible thing is out there?
And it scans across the skyline back to the train depot, and outside the train we find the mysterious other guest and LB out there, and she looks kind of to LB who's smoking, and they say, well, that went better than expected. LB just grunts. And they say, well, do you think they'll fit for the job? And LB grunts. And then they say, you're lucky I can speak your grunts. And LB pulls the cigar from his mouth and says, I don't need to talk to any of ya. And sticks it back in and boards the train. With Clem back in the party and another monster slain, can the group get back to Salt Lake City? Find out next time on ODND Presents A Fistful of Dice.